I'm Talia, and I swear I didn't think it was humanly possible to stay awake for 40 hours straight. But here I am, headset practically glued to my ear, eyes so heavy they sting. It's 3:07 a.m. on my second sleepless night, and I'm answering my 96th call at the helpline. My voice is cracking, but the desperate caller on the line doesn't notice. All they hear is someone who can reset their password and fix their firewall problem. I glance at the clock, waiting for my relief, but nobody shows up. Not tonight, not last night. And I can't leave because Marla, my boss, texted me 3 times with a big, bold demand. I need your report by 8 a.m. No excuses. She doesn't care that I'm dying over here. I stand up for a second, hoping to stretch. My legs wobble. Everything spins, and then blackness. I vaguely hear a dial tone, maybe the caller shouting my name, but it's all fuzzy. The floor rushes up to meet me. My eyes flutter closed against the bright fluorescent lights. Before I pass out, I have one final, sobering thought. They don't care if I collapse. I'm just another pawn. I wake up to a paramedic shining a flashlight into my eyes. The office is weirdly quiet. My phone buzzes. Marla again? Where's the report? No concern, just her same old demand. The paramedic tries to make me lie down, but I push up on my elbows. I notice my co-workers from day shift filing in, stepping over me like I'm part of the carpet. Later that day, after signing a medical release form, I manage a shaky walk back in. I expect some sort of acknowledgement, maybe even a thank you, for covering all those hours. But nobody greets me. My timesheet apparently didn't save in the system. There's no record of me working nearly 2 full days. I'm outraged, but every time I open my mouth to complain, someone else interrupts with some urgent call or random crisis. I run into Bob from the day crew, who shows me a fancy email congratulating the team on record-breaking coverage. They got a company-wide shout-out for increased customer satisfaction. My shift made that happen, not them. My blood boils. Marla strolls in, gives me a once-over and says, "Don't forget, that report is already late." Then she vanishes, leaving me there, still woozy. That night, I slump into my squeaky office chair, bruises still on my knees from that fall. My eyelids feel like sandpaper, but the phone lines are already blinking. Before I can log in, Marla storms in, face rigid. She points at the phone. "You're the glue that holds the weekends together," she says in this weird, tight voice. "Don't even think about cutting your hours. Everyone relies on you. Don't be selfish." Her words feel like a chain latching around my neck. I try explaining I'm a full-time college student. I have exams, projects, all of it. But she cuts me off with a dismissive hand wave. "You're so good at covering nights. Who else would do it?" I want to argue, but she leans in closer. "Seriously, we need you." She almost whispers, but it's not caring at all. It's a threat hidden in sugar. For a minute, I imagine just quitting, walking away. But I need the tuition money. My mom's texts remind me how tight finances are right now. "Hope you can send something. Bills piling up." So I grit my teeth and nod. Trapped in that night cage, no escape on the horizon. Even as I stare at another triple shift, I can't stop thinking about a single email that dropped into my inbox. A notification about a job opening in cybersecurity. Higher pay, normal hours, a real step forward. I blink at it. Something inside me lights up. I'm studying computer science. This could finally be my foot in the door. Just reading cybersecurity analyst makes my heart race. If I got it, everything would change. No more punishing nights, no more missed classes. I could breathe again. But I know the company's policy. Your direct supervisor must sign off on any internal transfer. Which means I need Marla's blessing. Will she even give it? I weigh the risk. She doesn't want me leaving her short-staffed, but maybe if I approach her with the right words, she'll help. That evening, the clock hits 2 a.m. and I'm still mulling over how to bring it up. My hands are shaking with excitement or dread. I can't tell which. A few people on campus have told me these openings are rare. If I pass it up, who knows when I'll get another shot. I vow to talk to her, tomorrow. If I don't, I'll regret it forever. Next day, I go straight to Marla's office. My heart's pounding. She's typing rapidly at her computer, eyes narrowed. I clear my throat. "Marla?" I say softly. She lifts her eyes with this icy look. I try to make my voice steady. "There's a position in cybersecurity. Could you sign off on my transfer?" For a second, her expression is blank. Then she does something totally unexpected. She smiles. It's not a warm smile. It's too wide, too fake. She leans over her desk and takes my hand like we're lifelong friends. You belong here, she says quietly. They don't know you. We appreciate you more than any other department would. You're our night hero. She squeezes my hand a little too hard. Don't let them steal you away. They don't love you like we do. I pull my hand back, pulse racing. I still want to apply, I manage. She tilts her head. Of course, she says, voice suddenly sweet. We'll talk about it. Then she smoothly reaches for a pen. I'll sign. But as I leave her office, my stomach churns. Her smile felt more like a warning, like I'm stepping out of place, and she won't forgive me for it. The next day, Marla hands me the form with her signature scrawled on the bottom. I try to hide how relieved I am. I thank her. She nods, face unreadable, then walks away like I'm invisible. That night, I text my friend Kayla. She actually signed it. I'm so close. Kayla sends back a stream of celebration emojis. Then I gather with a few classmates at a small cafe. They tease me about how soon I'll be the cyber queen. I laugh. For once I feel hopeful, like all the late nights and exhaustion might actually pay off. But when I get back to work, something's off. Everyone's extra quiet. Eyes flick in my direction, then dart away. Even the phone seems subdued. I settle at my desk and notice Marla standing by the water cooler. She's looking right at me. She doesn't smile or wave. Her gaze is intense, like she's memorizing my every move. I try to shake it off. She signed the form, right? But the tension in the air feels like storm clouds gathering. I focus on finishing up some final calls, ignoring the prickly feeling that something big is brewing. I just can't place what. The day arrives when I'm supposed to start training in the cybersecurity department. I'm ready. I've got my notebooks, printed references, everything. I bounce into the office early, expecting to meet my new manager. My inbox? Silent. My phone? No messages. I wander by the cybersecurity desks, expecting at least a hello. Nothing. People glance up, then go back to typing. At first I think maybe there's a mix-up, maybe the training got delayed. But hours pass, and nobody comes to get me. I call HR. They're out for lunch. I wait another hour and call again. This time they say they have no updated paperwork on me. My transfer hasn't been processed. I go back to my desk, confusion turning to dread. Marla sits in her office, that same cryptic smile on her face. My stomach clenches. I can't just walk over there and accuse her of anything. Have no proof. But the silence is deafening. I can feel everyone's eyes on me as I slump into my seat. My phone chirps. A coworker texts me. They're freezing you out. Be careful. My hands shake as I read it. This is more than a delay. It's a blockade. Fed up, I decide to call the new manager directly. His name is Jonas. He sounds uneasy as soon as he picks up. Talia, I'm really sorry, he begins. The offer's been taken off the table. I blink, stunned. What? Why? I grip my phone so tight my knuckles go white. We're supposed to start training today. Everything was set. He hesitates. Look, it's not my call. There was some internal information I got. It changed things. I ask him to be straight with me. His voice grows hushed, like he's afraid someone will overhear. I'm just following instructions from above. I can't say more. I hang up, heart hammering. The job's gone. In an instant, all my hope collapses. I stare at my reflection in the blank monitor screen. My eyes look hollow. Then, a new wave of anger surges. I know who's behind this. Marla's shadow is all over it. She must have said something, maybe an official complaint or false rumor. That's the only explanation for such a sudden reversal. My phone buzzes. Another text from Kayla. So excited for our first day. I close my eyes and swallow a scream. Everything just imploded. I can't function until I know the full truth. The next day, I dial Jonas again, refusing to let him dodge me. He sighs, sounding tired. Marla told me you have poor attendance, said you're rarely at work, that you're not dependable. She warned me you'd jump ship the moment you got bored. I'm speechless. I work the overnight shift. I practically live at the office. I pull up my stats on my phone. Call logs, email timestamps, everything showing me logging hours nobody else wanted. I tell Jonas about the 40-hour meltdown I endured. He goes silent for a moment. I never saw that data, he admits. She gave me a very different picture. I pace around the room, heart pounding. How could she possibly spin my insane workload into me being absent? But then I remember. Nights are invisible to day shift. If they don't see me physically there, it's easy to lie. Jonas's voice is soft. I'm sorry. but the official decision is final. I hang up and nearly throw my phone in frustration. Marla didn't just block me, she destroyed my reputation. My chest feels tight. She basically stole my future right out from under me. I sit in my car in the company parking lot for an hour, fuming. This is sabotage. It's so brazen, so nasty, that suddenly I see the truth. This isn't just about scheduling. Marla wants total control. She's threatened by me getting any recognition. She'll do anything to keep me locked in that night cage. My phone pings with an old voice memo. It's from 2 months ago. Me complaining to a friend about how tired I was from back-to-back shifts. I also have screenshots of my call logs, timestamps from the system. Slowly, I realize I've got a treasure trove of evidence. Maybe I can fight back. I comb through my email history, every schedule I've been assigned, every confirmation from HR that I covered weekends. Then I find the big one. An official notice awarding night shift coverage credit to the day team. My name was nowhere on it, but I can prove I was clocked in. My heart pounds. This is my smoking gun. If Marla wants a war, I'll bring facts. I'm done playing nice. She tried to bury me, but I'm awake now. Adrenaline surges through me. Next step. Show the truth to the right people. Determined, I call Jonas again the next morning. This time, my voice is firm. Check your inbox, right now. I've attached a meticulously organized spreadsheet, complete with screenshots of shift logs, email timestamps, plus an entire folder labeled Evidence of Talia's Actual Attendance. He opens it while I'm on the line. I hear him click through the files. His breathing changes. This is a lot, he says, sounding stunned. I had no idea. I let the silence hang there. Finally, he clears his throat. This changes everything. I'll talk to my boss immediately. A few hours later, I get a call back. Jonas sounds relieved, almost excited. The cybersecurity offer is reinstated. Come to my office first thing Monday. Let's start fresh. I breathe a massive sigh of relief. I almost feel dizzy from how fast it turned around. Jonas doesn't say it explicitly, but I catch his hint. I'm not the first person Marla's messed with. He'd suspected something was off, but had no proof until now. I gather my things, ready to head home and celebrate. But a small voice in the back of my mind warns, Marla won't take this lying down, and I'm probably in her crosshairs now more than ever. Monday morning, I arrive early to collect my stuff. I'm getting transferred to the cybersecurity department for real this time. The hall is quiet, the fluorescent lights humming. I push open the door to my old office. A massive handwritten sign blocks the entrance. Do not move anything from this room, per management. The letters are red and underlined twice. It's taped right across the door. My jaw drops. It's childish, obviously from Marla. But I know how corporate bureaucracy works. Some people might actually think this sign is official. If I can't move my equipment and files, I can't start my new job. I pull my phone out and snap a quick photo. My blood boils. I'm about to rip it down myself when one of the movers approaches. Need a hand? He asks, noticing my frustration. I point at the sign. He squints, then smirks. Paper signs have a way of falling off, if you know what I mean. He casually peels the tape from the door, crumples the sign, and tosses it in a bin. Ready to go? He asks, already loading my box of personal items. I give him a grateful smile, adrenaline thrumming in my veins. We're doing this. I follow the mover down the hall, carrying my own little cardboard box of desk trinkets. As we pass the break room, I see Marla leaning in the doorway. She's deathly still, arms crossed. Her eyes track every step we take. Not a single word leaves her lips, but her stare is pure rage. I straighten my shoulders and lift my chin. No way I'm letting her see me sweat. The mover offers a friendly wink, pushing the dolly stacked with my monitor and files. The sign in the trash can remains a quiet reminder that her attempt to block me failed. At my new desk in cybersecurity, Jonas and a couple of my new teammates welcome me with a polite round of applause. I set my things down, feeling a rush of joy, but I can't ignore the chill prickling the back of my neck. Marla's face is burned into my mind. She's not done. I imagine her writing that sign in bold red marker, hands shaking with fury. This isn't over. Still, for now, I smile at the small victory. I've moved out of that night cage, and she can't hold me back anymore. A few weeks pass. I dive into my new role, learning about firewalls, encryption, threat detection. It's challenging, but I love it. For once I can sleep at night, attend classes in the day, and work a normal schedule. Then, over lunch with a colleague, I hear the news. The night helpline is in chaos. Morale is down. Weekend coverage is a mess. Customers complain about hold times. I try not to grin, but it's hard. They depended on me so much, yet never gave me credit. Now they're feeling it. At first I feel a little guilty. Then I remember the forced 40-hour shift, Marla's sabotage. She brought this on herself. Late-night calls start coming straight to my new extension. People who know me by name. I help them quickly, and they're grateful. Word travels fast in corporate circles. Some higher-ups start noticing that the cybersecurity department's user satisfaction is spiking. Meanwhile, the helpline is plunging into red metrics. I keep my head down and do my job, but inside, I'm laughing. The darkness that once swallowed me is devouring Marla's team now. I can't help thinking, karma's on the move. I'm midway through a threat assessment when my phone rings with a familiar beep. It's Mr. Lewis, an older client who used to call me on weekends. "Hey Talia, I found your new number," he says, sounding relieved. "I can't deal with those other folks. They don't have a clue." I calm him down, fix his login issue, and laugh when he says, "I'm telling everyone to ask for you." I end the call with a warm glow in my chest, because I remember how often Marla used to say, clients won't care who they talk to. Well, clearly they do. By the end of the week, more regulars start bypassing the helpline altogether. They call or email me directly, praising me for my quick responses. I do my best to honor my new role and pass them along, but they insist on me. My supervisor at cybersecurity notices. He calls me into his office. "Quite a reputation you've got," he says, amused. "We're seeing an uptick in satisfaction. Upper management's taken note." I nod, trying to stay humble. But inside, I'm practically giddy. All those nights building relationships, proving my dedication, it's paying off, big time. The next Monday, an email pings company-wide, internal audit for helpline department. Anonymous complaints have triggered a review. I spot a line reading, "All staff who have experienced scheduling or management conflicts, please submit documentation." Immediately, I know this is about Marla. I sense my coworkers have finally found the courage to speak. Maybe they're fed up with her controlling ways, or maybe they heard how I broke free. Either way, it's happening. I'm not sure if I should jump in or keep my head low. After all, I have a good thing going now. But then I remember her lies, the sabotage, that humiliating sign. That anger stirs again. I gather the evidence I compiled before and forward it to the internal audit mailbox. No commentary, just the raw facts. My hours, my call logs, Marla's contradictory timesheets. I feel a twinge of guilt. Part of me wonders if I'm going too far. But then I recall her telling Jonas I was never at work, effectively stealing that promotion from me. The guilt dissolves. This isn't petty revenge, it's accountability. If the truth knocks her off her pedestal, that's on her. A few weeks pass, and I focus on my cybersecurity tasks. I'm analyzing logs, preventing phishing attempts, stuff that feels meaningful. But then the big news hits. Helpline performance numbers are at rock bottom. They can't keep up with demand on weekends. Complaint tickets are piling up. The day shift's metrics aren't faring much better. An internal email leaks to me from a friend in HR. Initial findings suggest significant mismanagement in helpline operations. My friend shoots me a text. "You might be named as a positive reference, someone who overcame adverse scheduling." I flush with a mix of pride and nerves. Apparently, executives are grilling Marla about the chaos. The data is undeniable. Productivity and customer satisfaction soared when I was there, plummeted when I left. There's a direct link to her ignoring staff well-being. It's not just me anymore, it's a pattern. I stand by the water cooler, reading that text again. I half expect Marla to storm up, but she's absent, probably locked in some meeting. My phone chirps. Another friend, "They're investigating everything. Hang tight." A slow, vindicated smile spreads across my face. The walls are closing in on Marla, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. It's almost surreal when I get the call from the head of IT. She wants to chat in her office. My stomach flips. Am I in trouble or is this good news? Heart pounding, I enter her sleek corner office overlooking the city. She looks up from her computer and smiles. "Talia, we've been impressed by your performance and your resilience," she begins. "We're shaking up the helpline management." I nod, trying to keep a neutral face, but inside I'm buzzing. She clears her throat. "How would you feel about heading that team?" For a moment, my brain short circuits. Head the helpline? That means being Marla's boss. My mind flashes back to her telling me I belonged to her. How she controlled every aspect of my schedule. The offer feels almost too good, like a dream. Finally, I manage a calm answer. I'd be honored, but under one condition. I take a breath. I want full hiring authority. I need to be able to shape that department properly. I can't fix it if my hands are tied. She taps her pen thoughtfully. Consider it done, effective immediately. My heart thrums in my chest. I leave the office in a daze. Everything's about to flip. I inform my cybersecurity manager of my new role. He shakes my hand and congratulates me, saying it's a big responsibility. Then, I gather my courage and head down to the helpline department, my old hunting grounds. The corridor feels strangely quiet, like everyone senses a storm brewing. I can't help but think of the countless nights I stumbled in, exhausted and unappreciated. Now, I'm stepping in as the department head. When I reach Marla's office, the blinds are open. She's inside, typing feverishly. The place looks smaller than I remember. I knock on the doorframe. She glances up, sees me, and her expression freezes. I just got notified, she says, voice shaking with forced composure. You're the new manager? I nod and produce a piece of paper with the official memo. Her eyes scan it, growing wide. Effective immediately, I repeat. Her face goes pale. She tries to steady herself. So, you're my superior now? I set my new nameplate on the desk. Yes, Marla, I say, keeping my voice calm. You report to me. Her posture stiffens, like she's going to snap at me. But the fear in her eyes is unmistakable. A single tear brims in the corner before she quickly looks away. Word travels fast. The rest of the helpline team is buzzing with shock and excitement. I stand at the front, introduce myself as the new department head. Some employees cheer softly, others exchange confused glances. Bob, the day shift rep who once flaunted that big congratulatory email, looks stunned. Marla hangs back by her old desk, arms folded. She's trembling, lips pressed tight. I quietly set my new nameplate on her desk. After all, it's mine. The rest of the team stands in awkward silence. With a calm voice, I say, we're about to implement changes to make this department better for everyone. Fair scheduling. Actual recognition for night workers. We'll fix the coverage gaps that have been holding us back. I see heads nodding, a flicker of hope in weary eyes. Suddenly, Marla slams a drawer, the noise making everyone jump. So I'm just replaced after years here? Her voice shakes with anger and humiliation. I meet her glare. No, I correct gently. You're not replaced. You're still employed. But your role has changed. We need a strong team here, Marla. I hope you'll cooperate. She stares at me, jaw clenched. We'll see about that, she hisses, then storms off. The very next day, I request a thorough review of the department's past 6 months. I want to see everything. Rosters, complaint logs, timesheets, communications. Marla tries to protest, but I have official backing now. She's forced to hand it all over. I sit in my new office, her old office, sifting through piles of data. It's both fascinating and horrifying. Staff schedules have been tampered with to hide real hours. Logs show phone calls magically reassigned, so some day shift team members looked like heroes. And there's a hidden folder of staff complaints against Marla, never forwarded to HR. One file stands out, an email from a team member begging for relief after being asked to do back-to-back shifts. No response from Marla, just a note labeling them lazy. The more I read, the colder my anger becomes. This is exactly what happened to me, except I never saw all of it before. By evening, I'm physically and emotionally drained, but I have a mountain of evidence. I send it off to HR with a concise summary, making sure no detail is missed. My heart pounds as I press send. Marla's house of cards is about to come crashing down. 2 days later, HR arranges a formal meeting with Marla. Word spreads like wildfire. The entire office feels tense, like the air before a thunderstorm. People either avoid eye contact or watch the clock, waiting for the moment it all goes down. I'm in my office, reviewing a new staff schedule, when I notice Marla walk by in the hall, shoulders stiff. HR's door closes behind her. She's in there for almost an hour. When she emerges, her face is drained of color. She clutches a manila folder to her chest like a shield. Everyone pretends to work, but they're clearly listening. Bob, from day shift, approaches me quietly. They gave her a chance to resign, he whispers. She refused at first, then they showed her the logs. She walked out of the room, didn't say a word. I watch her as she returns to her office, my old cage. She slams the door, presumably to gather her personal items. My chest feels tight with mixed emotions. Triumph, relief, a little bit of sadness. No matter what she did to me, this is still a human being losing her job. But I also remember the vicious sabotage, the exhaustion, the lies. She did this to herself. Marla's official departure is announced at the end of that week. No dramatic farewell, no warm goodbyes. She vanishes, and life moves on. But I'm left with a department in shambles, morale at an all-time low. People are still traumatized, still worried. I call a meeting. Everyone fits into the small conference room, some standing by the walls. My voice shakes a bit as I start. We're gonna rebuild this department. No more hidden schedules or insane shifts. Let's make a fair, transparent system. A few hands go up with hopeful questions. What about weekends? Will we get real recognition? Do we get breaks if we're on all night? I answer each question with a promise of honest scheduling. We'll do rotating weekends, make sure no one is stuck in the graveyard forever. We'll track overtime properly. We'll celebrate success and address problems head-on. Over the next few weeks, we roll out the changes. It's a rocky start, but slowly, the atmosphere improves. People are less tense, more open. At the end of one late shift, the team even jokes around in the break room, something I rarely saw before. We're not perfect yet, but we're on the right track. The transition isn't easy. Some staff members quit, saying they can't handle the new structure. But the ones who stay seem relieved, like they've been waiting for real fairness. The helpline performance starts rising steadily. Customers notice faster response times, fewer hold periods, complaints drop. One afternoon, I get an email from the executive team. I've been nominated for an internal leadership award. I blink at the screen, almost not believing it. All those sleepless nights, the near collapse, the sabotage, it feels surreal to be praised now. At the award ceremony, I'm handed a small plaque. My new coworkers clap and cheer. The memory of Marla's controlling grip on my life flashes through my mind. My heart swells with gratitude. I step up to the mic, voice trembling. I want to thank everyone who believed in me when I was just a night shift nobody. To anyone who's ever been told they belong in a place that treats them poorly, know this. You belong wherever you're respected, not controlled. Keep your head up, fight for yourself. The applause is loud, but I also sense deeper understanding. It's a victory beyond the plaque. It's proof that fairness and real teamwork can win. Months pass, and the hotline team thrives. I implement a monthly rotation so nobody is stuck in permanent night duty unless they volunteer. Some employees find a rhythm they love. Our coverage is stable. Performance metrics climb. It's like we finally exhaled after being strangled for so long. One crisp morning, I'm headed to a vendor meeting downtown. I step off the elevator in the lobby, scanning the other suits and professionals heading to various offices. Then I spot a familiar face. Marla? She's clutching a folder stuffed with resumes. Her hair is pulled back tight, but she looks stressed, eyes flicking around nervously. She glances up, notices me, and freezes. We lock eyes. I see the flicker of recognition, then embarrassment. She clutches her folder tighter, stepping aside like she wants to hide. I offer a polite nod as I pass. I can almost read the shame in her expression. She's applying at a competitor, maybe a lower-level tech support role. I don't say a word. Don't need to. My presence is enough. My career soared while hers plummeted. Sometimes justice doesn't require a big scene. Just the truth. I walk away, heart steady, knowing I'm right where I belong, on top, by my own merit.